At the conclusion of Episode 7 of Gen V Season 2, Polarity, Greg, Sam, and Jordan try to defeat Cipher in the lecture hall, while Emma, Cate, and Annabeth search the basement for Marie, who is trying to restore Godolkin to full health. Anticipating this, Cipher starts to beat the living daylights out of Polarity by manipulating Sam, Greg, and Jordan. Meanwhile, Marie starts to heal Godolkin. Polarity releases a powerful magnetic pulse just as Marie finishes her work, knocking everyone down, including Cipher. Cipher reveals that he is actually Doug, who has been a Godolkin vessel all along, as he proceeds to decapitate Cipher while brandishing a blade from the lecture hall's weapons vault. Although Cipher is speaking the truth, it appears like he is attempting to bluff Polarity in order to escape death. Since Doug is genuinely human and Godolkin has been manipulating him all along, he does not have compound V in his veins. Godolkin exits the stretcher back in the basement and starts babble in front of Marie, Cate, Emma, and Annabeth about Sage's plan, how he has been in anguish for so long, and how Marie has set him free to execute his plan of culling the herd. At that point, Cate realizes that Godolkin is Cipher and that they must leave him before his appreciation for Marie starts to fade. Godolkin meets Hampel immediately after emerging from the cellar, and he inquires about his abilities. Hampel naively claims to be able to transform his feet into hands. Hampel commits suicide after Godolkin calls him one of the worst superheroes ever. Then, intending to murder more of these unnecessary soups, he enters Godhu's playground. All right, I have a lot of stuff to discuss now. First of all, kudos to the internet for figuring out this plot surprise long before. Second, Godolkin is incredibly strong. He was puppeteering Doug from a distance, even if he was in that burnt state. Godolkin was using Doug to puppeteer Jordan during that Soup UFC event involving Marie and Jordan. He did the same thing throughout the altercation between Cipher, Polarity, Sam, Greg, and Jordan, as well as when Doug entered Polarity's home and Cipher was stopped. Now, Marie has healed him. How much more authority will he then display? I'm not sure. At first, I believed Godolkin had given Doug his consciousness. He was able to manipulate him without being around Doug because of this. But since Godolkin doesn't care about distance, it's obvious that he was merely playing tricks on Doug. Thirdly, why did Godolkin permit the departure of Marie, Cate, Emma, and Annabeth? He might have already infected one of them with his mind virus. As a result, as he is carrying out his plan to eradicate the evil soups, he will always be aware of what Marie and her friends, including Stan, incidentally, are up to. Who knows? Perhaps Marie herself will be the covert mole. Furthermore, he was unaware of the power set of Emma, Cate, and Annabeth. He therefore didn't want to murder someone who would help his cause. He is aware that he may influence them and win them over to his cause if he so desires. However, he will have to waste time and energy looking for a substitute if they are dead. Nevertheless, the issue still stands. Will Godolkin work alongside Homelander or will he succeed him as the nation's president? I guess Godolkin will have a significant role in The Boys Season 5 until and unless he is brutally murdered in the season finale. Homelander is a fascist, and his political views will probably coincide with Godolkin's. I'm not sure if Homelander will get along with Godolkin, though, considering how unnerving Stormfront's Third Reich visions were. In that scenario, Homelander is likely to temporarily support the boys in order to ensure Soups' survival. However, this is all conjecture. We'll have to wait until next week to obtain some solid answers regarding what Gen V and the boys' future holds. But what do you think of this episode? Did you anticipate this turn of events or was the Godolkin is Cipher twist unexpected? Tell me in the space provided for comments below. In Stan's vehicle, Jordan and Annabeth can be seen speeding in the direction of Godhu. Through this little road trip, they strengthen their bonds, share stories about how they came to know their abilities, and gain a deeper awareness of their humanity. Sam flies into Godhu as Emma contracts and slips into his pocket. Why they decided to come to the same location separately is beyond me. To avoid being stopped at the security check, I suppose. However, Jordan manages to smuggle Annabeth into Godhu undetected. What would have occurred, then, if the four of them had driven there and waltzed through the college's front gate? All three of these institutes are always in sync with one another, yet it doesn't appear like vault.Although, and Elmira run a very tight ship. They can conduct a good cover-up when something goes wrong because they have a strong public relations system. Therefore, I didn't think this divide-and-enter strategy made much sense. In any case, Rufus and Black Hole corner Sam as soon as he lands in Godolkin, and Rufus gives Sam the assignment to participate in Hell Week by torturing a freshman named Hample to death. From where does Hample emerge? The butt of Black Hole. The fact that this soup has a limitless amount of space in his rear and is allegedly carrying freshmen in there as part of their humiliation process makes it clear that his moniker is rather literal, even though we have witnessed brief demonstrations of Black Hole's potency. After being freed from Black Hole's butt, Hample is made to accompany Sam everywhere, acting as though he is a dog and Sam is his owner, but Sam has other concerns, like the fact that Emma and Greg are falling for one another and that they need to find Marie before she takes terrible measures. Greg is instructed by Emma to fly around the university and try to identify Marie. However, Greg raises doubts about Sam's loyalty and claims that he is most likely highly loyal to Vought before momentarily leaving Emma's side. Greg has always raised misgivings in my mind, but his statement only serves to confirm my suspicions. Emma tells Greg to concentrate on locating Marie and that Sam is all right. Emma then walks to the dorms to see if she can locate Marie and Cate, while telling Sam and his pet to check out the theater room. Annabeth experiences the same vision she experienced before entering Godolkin, but this time she and Jordan are able to determine that Marie would most likely die if she attends the hero optimization seminar. So, before Marie steps into Cipher's trap, Annabeth and Jordan run to her. When Greg sees Annabeth, he tells Emma and Sam, who also rush to the seminar hall, and, well, they're all right. Marie has apparently figured out that Godolkin is in the seminar building's basement, and Polarity, Marie, and Cate are standing directly in front of it. The trio is approached by Emma, Sam, Greg, Jordan, Annabeth, and even Hample, who convinces Marie not to go to Cipher. Marie is too focused on reaching Godolkin to pay attention to Annabeth's repeated explanation of her vision. Annabeth says she knew her parents were going to die just before Marie unintentionally killed them, and I've seen this hypothesis making the rounds online. She was unable to adequately explain her visions at the time, though, which is why she was unable to dissuade Marie from acting in that way. By placing all the blame on Marie, she has concealed the shame she has carried for all these years. She feels that she will no longer be able to live with herself if she is unable to use her abilities to save Marie from the inevitable, which she can now do after all these years. Marie completely understands her. She even recognizes the affection her friends have for her. Nevertheless, she knows that curing Godolkin will stop Cipher and ultimately bring down Homelander, therefore she is too determined to do it. As a result, she renders Sam, Greg, Emma, and Jordan incapable of functioning before entering the seminar building. While she finds Godolkin, she instructs Polarity to keep Cipher occupied. Thanks for watching. For more updates stay tuned and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, please.